Let's not have any expectations. No expectations for the transmission of no expectation. They were saying exactly. Start whatever you want to start and be in the present moment and allow everything to occur as it should, just like this transmission. Start and it will become clear. Imagine you start to cook and you have an idea of what you want to do, but then you open a cupboard and you see a certain spice that you go, oh, that would go amazingly. Or someone phones in the middle of your cooking experience and whatever you're baking stays in the oven longer or shorter and it is a little bit more crunchy and you actually like it. So that's a good example, say, because if you follow a recipe, it's too controlled. Some people might need it. So it's a little bit confusing for the way we think, the way we've been taught to think. But it's along the lines of a little bit being more like a child. Whatever is occurring, occurs. Although, if you promise a child a unicorn, they truly do expect it. Okay, here we go. So bring into the active experience, however you know yourself to be. Do you lower your expectations so you don't get disappointed, or do you have high expectations and then have a little disappointment? So, okay. So when you create an expectation, it's like a control, but it's also a bit of a manifesting, but it's from your linear mind. You can't imagine something beyond or even better, as we were saying before. So it has to stay within the confines of your expectations. You are all believers in metaphysical, in energies and miracles. But by expecting a miracle, you put a confine on the possibilities, even though it looks like a positive mindset. To make a distinction, if you just assume, because you've created so many miracles in your life, that another one will occur whenever it is appropriate or necessary, then that is acceptance of that I can. I am someone that can be in the presence of miracles, either being the conduit or being the presence of the observer. So let's clear that up. If you expect a miracle, it highly likely it won't occur. But if you assume, because your energy is such that you know it can occur, it will occur whenever it's ready, then that is the difference between assuming and expecting. Okay. So now it's creating the space for that awareness. You're all very capable of creating miracles. So allow us to create that space in your awareness. Here we go. What it looks like, it's like an emptying out of all these even on an ancestral line, the way we manifest, the way we hope, the way we intend, it's not that it was wrong, but it's very outdated. So they're emptying out that from your consciousness. And that's the best we can do, is emptying out, because if you're, again, the cupboard is full, how can we put something in there? So it's emptying out, it's letting go. So let's say I've just been fixing something and the tool I go to is pliers, because that's what I'm accustomed to. But if there was something new, different, but I haven't seen it yet, I don't know that tool exists, I won't go looking for it. So basically, they're cleaning out all our old, outdated ways of approaching a subject, of intending. It's not that complicated. You don't even think about breathing. And so they say that can be confusing because that's automatic. But if you have no problems with your eyesight, you don't think twice about opening your eyes and seeing what's around you. You just assume that would be the case. You'd be surprised if that didn't work. There we go. So assume That whatever you intend, if you don't limit it, it will be surprising and probably better than you expect. And of course, the same goes true. If you expect to be scolded or expect to mm, something negative, again, your expectation colors the outcome and doesn't allow maybe something even positive to come in its place. Right? From a group level, there's a little bit of pressure starting to build up in the center of the head, of the brain. There we go. So it's an analogy that's been used quite a bit, which is because it's like a confusion for the ego, for the brain. It's like, well, if I ask for something, I expect to get it. And so yes, but don't become upset or confused about what you get. So let's say you have 10 seeds and you put them into the ground because you water them and you just assume they will grow. There we go. But maybe 7 of the seeds grow out of the 10. Would that make you happy or disappointed? And that's the attitude which is controlling. So if 7 came out, that's beautiful. And if 2 came out, that's beautiful. And if 10 came out, that's beautiful. It's a lesson in trying not to control, expect the outcome. By expectation, we're trying to control the outcome. So plant and assume they will grow. Ideas, seeds, creations. And deal with whatever comes up. Be with whatever comes up. Okay, there was just a little brain warp going on there. So just like when we're learning to see, the understanding of what we're seeing is incorporated. They say if someone who's blind were to see from one day to the next, they wouldn't understand depth and perception, and like stairs would just look like a darker stripe and a lighter one. Or so it's not only seeing, but it's the understanding. So it's creating the understanding what we're trying to say about assuming an expectation, assumption, and expectation. So a good student, intelligent student, if there is a surprise exam, he will assume that his knowledge will be good enough. And whatever the result, that be fine. And so I hope it goes well is a different state. The expectation of an A or B or C or a pass or whatever it is, then that will create expectations. So hopefully this has been cleared up. What they're saying is everyone knows everything because we are all one. So if you could just assume that you're ready, assume that you know, assume whatever happens is for best. Yet intend, manifest, dream, and assume that whatever you need to know will appear, whoever needs to help you will appear, and all the blockages that will send you then on the next trajectory will appear. And it might seem like a disappointment, but that might create the new pathway. There we go. There we go. And just allow your quantum being, your bigger soul self, understand it so much better than the little ego self. Allow this to smooth, integrate, help a new understanding. It's like we just planted a little seed in your consciousness. And there's a tendency to use too many words when the description becomes 5D, because it's like we're tuning into something, and it's not the same as saying, if I said an orange, we all know it's a fruit and what color it is and kind of what it tastes like. Just one word, or well, two words, and we don't need more. But because we have to feel into it, anything that helps you feel into the experience will give you language. But you have to experience it. For me to be able to, for the crew to be able to say orange, you need to know what orange is. An orange. But we are on our way. There we go. Okay. Oh, deep breath in and come on back